Hi, my name's Chance. This is actually the first video I've ever posted on YouTube anywhere, so this is a new thing for me. I didn't plan on doing this, and I have zero ambition to establish a popular channel or be an entertainer or whatever. But I've been hanging around this little corner for long enough, and I think it's time to start reciprocating a little bit in terms of content and sharing my thoughts. So I'm kind of on the fringe of the fringe, so I can imagine I'll get plenty of critiques and stuff. That's fine. If it be the case that what I can bring to the table is to be a foil or provide a little productive noise in the system, maybe that's helpful or has some value. So it's kind of what I'm doing here. So this first video will be an addendum to the mining Vervaeke discussion on reciprocal narrowing, which was hosted on Karanadric's channel, which was an excellent conversation. And many personal accounts on the topic were shared. A lot of good thoughts, a lot of good strategies and everything. A lot of insight. I engaged in the chat enough that I suspect it's probably better if I just compose and present my thoughts separately, so that's what I'm doing here. So my way into this little corner was by way of Vervaeke, his Awakening from the Meaning Crisis series, which I found by way of an obscure blog. I don't know if anyone reads Rand Prieur, but that's where I got in touch with Vervaeke's content. I saw that Vervaeke was covering many topics and thinkers which I'd been introduced to kind of in middle school, high school, just, reading the Tao. I read Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse and some other books of that nature that kind of gave me the initial idea, and I just didn't know where to go with it. It's just so different from what I grew up with. So initially I was drawn in by the pleasure of experiencing a lot of epiphanies from him, kind of connecting different principles in these arenas and unpacking things in ways that I couldn't access. So I was getting a lot of pleasure from the epiphanies, and in this way it was properly erotic. I'll use it the way Vervaeke uses it. That is, you're kind of drawn in by the pleasure you're getting and stuff. When I got to the episode where he discusses parasitic processing, it was like I had found something that I was looking for a very long time. I watched it over and over. It changed my whole life by giving me a name and explanation for this phenomenon of getting stuck in a way that resists intervention. The saying, name it to tame it, comes to mind. And so it gave me words for just things going on inside that I couldn't explain, People in reciprocal narrowing find negative things more salient, which confirms their unfittedness. This is consciously experienced as objectively true. It's completely subjective, but, it feels like absolute truth. It's sort of a morbid impulse. It is as if there is a subconscious process going on which actually aims to lead to the negative conclusions that deepen the reciprocal narrowing by restructuring the salience landscape. Even if something good happens, there is some greater negative truth which undermines the validity of anything good. A success fails to have impact because there's always a yeah but, which will dissolve it. There's an automatic judgment that things are bad and getting worse in a net sense, even though good things may be present kind of here and there. Unquestionable judgments, fixed ideas, fatalism. It seems that reciprocal narrowing is a completely maladaptive strategy of selfish resignation. The conventional view of people who are depressed, addicted, narrowed down to just pleasure-seeking and pain avoidance, is that these are people who have become utterly selfish and are worthy of the bad things happening to them, and that these bad things should increase, even culminating in their destruction. Nietzsche's Last Man comes to mind. This seems like one of those unquestionable judgments, the 1,000-pound gorilla in the room that everyone just doesn't acknowledge, that underpins a lot of our thinking on the subject. Maybe this thinking is the other half of this reciprocal process of narrowing. Us, as the arena in response to the person who's becoming reciprocally narrowed in this way that I've described. Someone who willingly falls into reciprocal narrowing under some morbid impulse is doing something which makes no sense to anyone else. Yet its most extreme manifestations not only have always been present in human life, but now are on an extreme rise, it seems. Will doubling down on condemnation help? I suspect not. I suspect this will not only fail to stem the tide, but may even lead to horrors on a mass scale as a response. So I would like to play devil's advocate here and propose that we look at reciprocal narrowing in a different way. I would like to propose that reciprocal narrowing is a strategy, an extremely risky, potentially deadly, but also potentially adaptive strategy, one that is focused on conservation of energy. To what end? What are the range of outcomes we see in those who experience a period of reciprocally narrowed existence? And in this case, I'm talking about the more extreme forms that kind of just encompass people's lives. I'm not talking about lesser forms of reciprocal narrowing like writer's block or something like that. I think we all kind of experience these mundane instances. Could it be that reciprocal narrowing is useful as a strategy insofar as it provides the ability to simplify the world, to get back to absolute basics, first principles, and to start towards new projects not built on the maladaptive patterns which have previously become entrenched? A reconstructed salience landscape with new affordances and new ways of relating to others and the world. A gamble on deconstruction in hopes that reconstruction is not only possible, but can potentially be a net benefit in terms of meaning in life and agency. I was delighted to hear in the mining Vervaeke discussion on reciprocal narrowing that an agapic framing could be helpful or perhaps necessary. With this charitable or agapic view of someone caught in reciprocal narrowing, should we endeavor to have a charitable or agapic approach to intervention? What would that look like? Now, what if an intervention for, say, an addicted person, the following were to happen? The person was genuinely praised for their courage to venture into this dark place. What if it was framed as an act of courage to go down into the depths of hell? Vervaeke said that agape is the love which restores people's humanity. My childhood pastor, Sebi Matessina, put it this way: Eros can be symbolized as a hook which goes out and then returns something back to you. Agape is a straight arrow. There's nothing coming back. What if this was framed as an act based on a person's faith in their community to restore their humanity? Could an intervention framed this way be effective? What would it look like? I don't know, but I think we're obligated to try and find ways within this framework. I would like to invoke a metaphor here, that of metamorphosis. The caterpillar stores up energy, builds the chrysalis around itself, and then it turns into a liquid. At no point is it a caterpillar that starts to grow wings. It completely dissolves before it could start to take on the form of the butterfly. In the mining Vervaeke discussion, Harris said the pawn cannot stay a pawn when it reaches the other end. It's got to turn into something else. Jung said that until the subconscious is made conscious, it will rule you and you will call it fate. Jesus said, "Ye must be born again." And I don't think that necessarily means that you have to join a church. It doesn't mean don't, by the way, but I don't think it necessarily means that. Maybe we can engage each other in agape to help people in this process of being born again, restoring their humanity. And successful intervention may depend on having this framing. On a final note, I would like to say that my time hanging around this little corner of the internet, I've explored, lurked, probed, and often stepped on my own tongue trying to figure out how to relate to others here. I have overwhelmingly seen this agapic framing in practice. And it's not always, soft and hugs and everything. There's challenges, and I think that's necessary. And I'm not implying that, it should be, come here, here's a warm blanket, although that may be an important part. But, I've seen this agapic framing in practice, and I'm thankful for everyone here participating and collaborating to help others find a way out of the meaning crisis. Thank you.